Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. Assessing President Bwakai's first 100 days, gains, missteps, and opposition critiques. Senate conducts confirmation hearing for new defense minister and NSA director. Senate concurs with House on U.S. $738.8 million national budget. Cummings and Freeman condemn suspension of LTA board. Police Inspector General issues stern warning to commercial motorcyclists and keke riders in Monrovia, and WBG EU facilitate GOL citizens meeting, convene Liberia diaspora dialogue. Those were the headlines, and I'll bring you the news in details. Wednesday made it exactly 100 days since Joseph Boakai was inaugurated as the 26th president of Liberia. It has been a momentous 100 days marked by deliberately proactive initiatives and reset policies, as well as a few policy missteps which have been trailed by both commendation and controversy. In his January 22nd inauguration speech, President Bwakai declared that no car would get stuck on major highways in the country, and on Wednesday, the president announced that under his 100-day action plan for road and maintenance, his government has embarked on key projects across the country to make sure that primary roads and all are pliable during all seasons. The Liberian Senate yesterday carried out one of its cardinal functions when it conducted a confirmation hearing of two key nominees in the security sector of the country, nominated recently by President Joseph Boakai, with the nominees pleading to improve upon what they are meeting at their respective positions as Minister of National Defense and the Director General of the National Security Agency. The confirmation appeared unusual and compared to most of the others conducted by the Senate, as it was more or less overwhelmed by the status being accorded Brigadier General Geraldine Jeanette George as first female Minister of the National Defense, perhaps not only for Liberia, but also the African continent. Most of the senators spent time congratulating her in advance before they could ask their questions, while others decided not to ask any question, but to assure her of their votes. The Senate has unanimously concurred with the House of Representatives on the passage of the U.S. $738.8 million 2024 national budget. The passage of the fiscal instrument sees the national legislature handling President Bwakai's maiden budget to execute as head of state. The Senate concurred with the lower house counterpart during the final session of the special session on April 30. In the Senate's action was also the inclusion of adjustments and an additional of U.S. $46,451,000. Senator Prince K. Moyi, chairman on Ways, Means, Finance and Budget, reported adjustments to domestic debt obligations, creating a net fiscal space of U.S. $96,101,000. Key allocations within the budget include various sectors like social development, U.S. $15.5 million, security and rule of law, U.S. $12.3 million, and education, U.S. $3.3 million. The legislature also allocated U.S. $4 million for the rehabilitation of disadvantaged youth. The two major opposition political parties in a joint press conference on Wednesday have termed President Joseph Boakai's decision to suspend commissioners at LTA as an action executed with disregard reminiscent of gangster-style maneuvers. The press conference, which was held at the headquarters of the Alternative National Congress, was graced by the senior partisans of both parties, including ANC's chairperson, Attorney Lafayette Good, and Mr. Simeon Freeman of the Movement for Progressive Change. They informed the gathering that the interview was with the knowledge of the leader of the ANC, Mr. Alexander B. Cummings, but he could not attend due to illness. However, they were optimistic that he will be in the next press conference regarding the reaction to President Bokai's 100-day deliverables. Inspector General of the Liberia National Police, Gregory Coleman, has thrown a challenge to motorcyclists extending to protest against the announced restriction on them if they feel entitled to resist the law. Speaking on Wednesday, May 1st, when he inducted former Reporter Association of Liberia President Cecilia G. Clark as the first female spokesperson of the LNP, Coleman said there is room for negotiation if their concerns are legitimate, then challenging the no-go zone restriction. Coleman acknowledged the efforts of motorcyclists in transporting people from one place to another, but maintained that these measures are crucial to the safety of people they are transporting. In support of the Liberian administration's ambitions to deepen engagement with the Liberian diaspora, the World Bank Group, together with the European Union, recently hosted Liberian Investment Dialogue on the margins of the World Bank and IMF spring meetings in Washington, D.C., USA. The dialogue provided a platform for the government to engage with the Liberian diaspora on the government's vision to amplify financing for Liberia's growth and development. The dialogue, which brought together 112 participants comprising senior officials of the Liberian government, the World Bank Group, the Liberian diaspora from the US, EU, and African, the private sector, civil society, and academia, provided a platform for the diaspora to share views and expectations of current and prospective investors when considering Liberia as an investment distinction. The event also exposed participants to lessons and models from countries that have been successful in attracting diaspora investment, ranging from Chad to Somalia. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I bring you a recap of the headlines. Assessing President Bokai's first 100 days, gains, missteps, and opposition critiques. Senate conducts confirmation hearing for new defense minister and NSA director. Senate concurs with House on U.S. $738.8 million national budget. Cummings and Freeman condemn suspension of LTA board. Police Inspector General issues stern warning to commercial motorcyclists and keke riders in Monrovia. And WBG EU facilitate GOL citizens meeting, convene Liberia Diaspora Dialogue. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.